I'm Adam from Opening Australia. I'm an immigration lawyer, and this is part 2 of my series to help Australian businesses who are sponsoring employees on a visa. Now, part 2 is called Know the Difference Between the Occupational Lists and the impact that the lists have on you getting or keeping the employees that you need. So there's been for a long time 2 occupational lists, which you must choose an occupation on one of those lists to nominate for you to get the employee approved to work for your business under a sponsorship arrangement. The names of those occupational lists has been changed, and I'm not going to go into the detail what the names of the new lists are. It's quite long, but let's just call the list the short-term list and the other one the medium and long-term lists. So now there's a short-term list and a medium long-term list, and it makes a big difference to what list the occupation is on that you wish to nominate. So one of the differences between the short-term list and the medium long-term list, well, as the name suggests, the short-term list is for occupations on a short-term basis. So now employees that are on this list, the short-term list, have no clear avenue towards permanent residency. This is a big change. Beforehand, if an employee was on the list, on the short-term list, then there was an avenue towards permanent residency through being sponsored by an employer for a number of years, and also direct entry permanent residency visa option. That is gone, and that's a big change. The impact that it has not only on the visa holder not getting permanent residency, it has an impact on your business. It has an impact on your business because the short-term stream visa may only be granted for 2 years at a time. So if you find a great employee and they're doing everything you want them to do and you want them to stay, you're only going to be granted a 2-year visa, and then potentially another 2-year visa, depending how long they have been in Australia. There's also been the introduction of the genuine temporary entrant criteria. This complicates things a little bit more. So what the genuine temporary entrant criteria means is a visa holder will have to satisfy that requirement to keep having visas approved. So the long and the short of the story is, for you as an Australian business, if the occupation is on the short-term list, it restricts you, and it's not as good as if the occupation is on the medium and long-term list. Now, with the medium and long-term list, if the occupation that you're nominating is on that list, the visa may be granted for up to 4 years, and there's also a clear pathway to permanent residency for occupations on the medium to long-term list. So I've just given you an outline and some examples of the differences of what can happen on the short-term list and the medium-term list and the impact on your business. I hope that this has been useful to you. I discussed this in more details and with more detailed examples than I've just mentioned in this video, so in a blog. So if you're interested in this, feel free to read my blog on the occupational list. And I'll also be finishing off the series with more information on the changes which I mentioned in my first chapter about the recent changes to the employer-sponsored visa program.